I got suspended from Airbnb last month. I posted real time to my Instagram. I was scared. One thing that you may not know about my history with Airbnb is that in 2019, they threatened to sue me. I actually removed my website from the internet. Of course, I've heard the horror stories intimately, sometimes privately one-on-one in consultation calls from other hosts going through similar situations and getting suspended from Airbnb permanently. Except, my living comes from Airbnb. I'm also a guest on Airbnb. I live in Airbnbs. I've paid Airbnb more than $50,000 in guest fees. I had an upcoming reservation in Honolulu that I would need to rebook somehow. I was in the middle of buying a new rental property, of which much of the value of that property was going to come from my listing it on Airbnb, similar to how I do with everything else. All of that now was in question. And on top of that, I was on a family vacation with all of my nieces and nephews, my whole family. So this added a tremendous amount of stress, and I was thinking about the possible situations. Airbnb's email didn't help either, which read, "Unless we determine through our investigation that you have not violated Airbnb's terms of service, we will terminate your account 30 days after the date of this communication." What were their reasons for suspending me? I need to see what strategies are working and what strategies are not, and what might go too far. Although I'm very careful about this to stay within bounds of the terms of service on Airbnb.com. There are a few things, unfortunately, that I will not be able to share in this video, but I am going to share the vast majority, everything that I can. For the past few years, I've realized that Airbnb has eyes on me. Even though I was a prior employee, I'd not heard from Airbnb outside of the legal demand. This was and is a bit surprising to me. Most brands contact their heaviest users, and I am Airbnb's heaviest user. In fact, I've been informed recently that I am Airbnb's #1 guest on their platform, and so I have thus applied for a Guinness Book of World Records as most nights slept in an Airbnb. There's been numerous times in the past where my tips found their way onto the platform, like when they added the speed of the Wi-Fi or bullet points to the text description, or when they've identified whether reviews are from a short or long-term reservation. Now, those are some smaller examples, but one that really irked me is with titles. I promoted a hack to lengthen your title, and soon after that hack was disallowed. Yes, I am upset with Airbnb over focusing on the wrong things. While I am their most active user, I am also their biggest critic. So much wasted potential. It's infuriating. But when they started to disallow things that were specifically allowed in their own terms of service, then I decided that I need to take my most effective strategies private. Not to myself, but behind a paywall that specifically disallows anyone working for Airbnb or their subsidiaries to join my program. I'm currently investigating whether any current or former employees have joined my program with their official company or personal details. The beautiful thing about Airbnb's terms of service, similar to laws, is that there are so many, and many are so broad, that they can really suspend you for anything they please. In my case, it was about some very specific words I used in my title and some outlandish claims as to what those specific words might mean to a specific subset of travelers. A lot of assumptions were made on their behalf. It was not, like many people have suspected, due to the length of my title. There was also a claim that I was inadvertently directing guests to book direct. With that said, I was overall happy with how the process played out. Friday, July 26th is when I received that first email. I responded right away. They asked for a response. The very next day, Saturday, July 27th, I got a response from them saying he'll back from them in a few days. A few days later, Tuesday, July 30th, they confirmed that they are going to reinstate my account given some changes I needed to make to specific wording within my listing and changes to automated messages. I did those changes the same day, sent him an email and confirmed. Now, they didn't ask for specific things. They kind of made it broad and general, so I had to guess at what I needed to change. And Airbnb said, hey, as soon as you make these changes, we'll reinstate your listing. Tuesday goes by, Wednesday goes by, Thursday, Friday. Now, my calendar was booked, but that weekend, the next weekend, was open. They did reinstate my account on Saturday, August 3rd. Now, those last few days hardly something to complain about given the potential of what could happen. I feel like they didn't reinstate my account on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday because they wanted me to feel some pain. They knew I was booked. They knew that weekend was open, and they knew if they opened the calendar that I would get booked that weekend and I really would have no pain suffered. Where this listing is at, the bookings are down 40%, quite substantially. So this year, obviously, my revenue, my profits are down about 40% for a few months of the year. I love Airbnb. I think it's a mismanaged company. I think there are tremendous opportunities not taken to better the platform for both the host and the guest. I think hosts can be better treated like partners. I think the company could communicate better. But overall, I do love this company. It affords me a life of travel made easier. It allows me an income both via this business and as a host. And what I'm doing, contrary to popular belief, is trying to make the guest experience better. I have chosen to do that by helping hosts. I've spent thousands of hours, including publishing 2 books that cost me personally tens of thousands of dollars, helping hosts be better, offering better experiences to the guest, which ultimately leads to more bookings and higher rates for those same hosts. I don't actually make much money from this business. Most of my content is free via my blog and here on the videos. On my YouTube, I don't even monetize my channel, which I could easily do with the click of a button. Sometimes days go by without a single sale on my website. Airbnb, if you are watching, which I do believe you are, reach out. I might be the person most intimate with your platform as both a host and a guest more than anyone. There is so much potential in so many ways that is quite frankly being squandered. I have a list on my phone, something I've tracked for the past decade, full of tips to improve the platform, the mobile app, the guest and host experience, and more. Just because I'm your biggest critic doesn't mean I don't want to work with you. I do. But you need to make the first move and reach out to me. You know how to contact me. Until next time, happy hosting.